Hey everybody, thank you for coming back to the channel. I'm Vincent from Retired Style, and today I wanted to start kind of a weekly kind of video series around comments that I find on many of the YouTubers that I follow, and hopefully from the videos that I've produced. And today's topic I want to talk to you about is about the worry of retirement. The comments that I've chosen here all kind of have the same theme around people's concerns and worries about retirement, and that is that they won't have enough to do it. And you know, I think this is a valid concern. I have the same concern. That's why I've decided to make this video, is because I worry. I worry a lot. I worry about my children. I worry about my wife, myself, the state of our economy, to be able to support the lifestyle that we want to hope without having it to like start cutting away into our retirement savings to the point where we can't retire. So with that, let me tell you about some of the comments that I found that I thought were really interesting. And this one is from Azul. He's a YouTuber that I follow. He's a certified financial planner. And he did a video called, "If you want to enjoy your retirement, try this." And the takeaway from that is you should spend your money. You're not gonna, you can't take it with you. So enjoy it, right? And it's easy to say because, you know, he's retired. There's others who are retired. But for those of us who, you know, are thinking about retire, it's so hard to think about it because it's like we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So rather than think about it, we just keep grinding away and just accumulating and hoarding things in the hopes that at the end of it, when we can't retire, right, when we have to call it quits, we'll have enough to be able to support ourselves. So at Ranger Robin 64 writes, "This is exactly the issue I'm having right now, making myself spend in my later years. I will be 61 this year, and I find it hard to start spending while still wondering if I will be okay in 20 years. Wish I had done what you're talking about when I was younger. I just shortened it." And this is true, right? It's a lot of it is around regret. And because they regret because they worried so much up front. And that's the same thing too. I regret not having done many things that I should have done when I was much younger. I'm not old and I'm very healthy. So much to the point that I can still do very hard physical activity. I do jiu-jitsu, and I'm very, very proud of myself and very happy that I can do that. But, you know, I do regret my mentality. My mentality has always been, I need to hoard. I worry so much. I need to make so much money. You know, this is just, it's not healthy. And I think that the problem I realize, even when I'm making these videos, is that we were socialized this way. Our social structure is in such a way that it makes us this way. There's no other hope but to keep on grinding away because we have taxes, we have expenses, we have education. I mean, everything is so expensive. So that leads me to this comment. At Solar Racer 66, "The problem I have been running into is that the cost of everything, especially travel and other bucket list items, have gone up faster than my income. Plus, everyday living expenses have also gone up way faster. So when I was young and poor, I could afford far more than I can now. Skiing, for example. There's also much greater uncertainty about prices in the future. For example, I expect we will see near double-digit inflation in 2025. So this is true. Everything's so expensive. Today, I went to go buy some Parmesan cheese for tonight's dinner. It was like $8 for, you know, one of those 1-quart cups or something. And I don't recall it being so expensive, but right now, as of 2/2/2025, the cost of a dozen eggs is $8. So how can anybody keep up? You know, the true ultra wealthy will never feel that. But for those of us who live day in, day out, and that's a very big portion of our, you know, United States, these things weigh on us. And no wonder we can't help but worry about our future and worry about whether we can or cannot retire. This comment comes from Dave Ramsey. "Life's advice will leave you speechless." And I love Dave. I listen to him a lot, and he gives wonderful biblical and philosophical, practical advice on how to implement a better lifestyle by minimizing and exterminating your debt. Everything is about extermination of debt through his baby steps. And in it, this video, Unisa Saeed comments, "I'm 54 and my wife and I are very worried about our future. Gas and food prices rising daily. We have had our savings dwindling to the cost of living into the stratosphere, and we're finding it impossible to replace them." So once again, it's another thing about the worry of our economy. we cannot help but worry, how do we pay for all of this? How do we retire if we have to keep paying all of this just to live? And that question is unanswerable because we cannot predict the future. So with that, let's talk about those who have retired. And in it, I wanted to kind of give you some hope that other people who have retired have been able to retire. And so Azul, once again, his video, this 59-year-old's advice will change your life, was a video that I actually did a comment on just recently, and it's about a lady who's now living in Honduras, and he interviewed her. So in the comment section, at TR4Zess writes, "This was a great interview. I enjoyed meeting a retiree we can also relate to. I retired at 55. That's awesome. 10 years ago. Wow, that's awesome. The best decision of my life, I was made redundant, and that happens quite frequently, and I decided not to seek reemployment. A few years later, my wife retired and life is great. If I have a struggle, it is spending our money while we can enjoy it. I hope Sylvie has a fabulous journey. The downsizing is really appealing." So I like this comment he makes. It is spending our money while we can enjoy it. I think that is the hope that we should aspire to. So let's say, for example, you lose your job, right? Rather than thinking, I lost my job, I got to get another. Think introspectively. How much more do you need? What do you need it for? For example, if you have a home and maybe it's almost all paid for it, just get out of debt, and then start thinking about whittling away all the things that are unnecessary in your life. I would love to do that. We've moved several times, and one of the most refreshing feelings about moving is all the junk you throw away. So in the number of moves, we've downsized so much junk that to the point where it's like we realize how little we need just to live. There is just enough that you can have. And so our society is built upon accumulating and hoarding. And that's the problem with retiring, is that the mentality can't be made in such a way that you can retire. You know, we're just taught this way that you have to keep on working and working, pay taxes, because we don't know anything better. So in the same video from Azul, at JC21470 says, "Great interview. This is really great to see. Someone not scared to do things differently instead of the same old boomer retirement playbook. Please show more people like this and have the guts to do things differently that can show there are many, many ways to retire and you do not have to do it the way most do." I can't disagree. I think if you watch this video, it's called "This 59-Year-Old's Advice Will Change Your Life." That's a lady, I don't know where she's from. I think she sounds like she's from Europe. She just decided to quit. And I think in her case, she was very stressed out. So much to the point she couldn't handle anymore and her health was affected. But she ended up retiring, and she even states that it was the best decision of her life. So that just indicates to me something that I thought about the other day about this Olympic swimmer. I heard it, I think, on some podcast. And she said that her father took her to a frozen lake, a really cold lake, and told her to jump in. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, this father is like crazy. But the reason he did that was what he wanted to try and teach her that, you know, uncomfortable situations or being cold, which is being uncomfortable, is a state of mind. You have to overcome the state of mind. You are not going to die, unless, of course, naturally, if you stay in cold water too long, you will. But you're not going to. When you're there to swim, you're going to plunge into the water, and you got to get your mindset in such a way that you got to put out all of that noise and just focus on the goal. And that's how the Navy SEALs operate. They want you to focus on the goal, despite all of that craziness that's going on. And I think that's the problem with retirement. That's how I view it as the problem. I have a problem of taking that plunge, right? But if you read all these comments, the people who took the plunge, they never looked back. And I think once they realized how warm it was really eye-opening to them. And so that's what I want to leave you here today with, is that I think taking the plunge to retirement is a mindset that you just have to overcome. And once you overcome it, everything else becomes a lot simpler. You don't need a gazillion dollars. You don't need that huge 5,000 square foot home. You don't need the latest car. You know, you just need to survive, and you need to enrich yourself and be happy and be healthy. The most important thing is be healthy. I would not want to be living at 55 knowing that I have cancer or have some kind of illness, right? And that I can't do things that I wanted to do later in life. So that's it for today on today's video. I hope you enjoy that. Please like and subscribe to this video. I'm going to try and do this every week by finding new comments. To me, this is where I think I can help those of us who are thinking about retirement. There's all these certified financial planners out there. They will be able to help you with the numbers. But maybe we can help each other with the philosophy and the mindset. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.